Good morning, everybody. It's Chrissy here. How are you? Wow, we're so I've got a whole line of cards lined out in front of me, set out in front of me. So I really want to get through this quickly, but I don't think I'm going to be able to because of the themes that I want to bring to you and what I've noticed in the field. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm being guided to start with this card. This card that came out for clients 3 times in a day. I've never known that before. And so there's kind of a general theme with this card. And so when I draw cards for clients, they read them because it's pertinent to their individual story. But there's a theme, and the theme is what's happening with my hidden self. Okay, so this is myself that's kind of, looking fine, feeling fine, projecting onto the world. This is the personality self. So this is how I read the card. So this is the personality self. It's the surface, the shallow self. It's the self that is measured by others and evaluated and valued by others. It's the self that is defined by the external world. Okay. And underneath that is what I'm reading as the soul self, the hidden self, the gifted self, the magical self, the deep self. And this is birthing as we speak. Okay, so I've just thrown some words onto paper, which I'm just going to bring you without much of a story. Just tune in energetically. Don't worry too much about the words, but tune in and see if they land with you and how and where they land with you. So at the moment, we are letting go of victim devil energy. There's a lot of deception in the field, okay? And this is about the hidden lies that we tell ourselves. I think one of the global lies that we tell ourselves is, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. You were enough when you were born. Okay, but somewhere along the way, we lose that enoughness, we lose that worthiness. Okay, so that's kind of the theme of where I want to go today. And some of the words I threw down were about the hidden lies. I can't, I won't, must stay safe, must guard and protect myself, my energy, my home, my space, my children, my car, my job. I don't trust you. That's too big a risk. I feel my feelings, but I can't safely share them because I'm afraid of what you'll think of me. When I open my heart, I get hurt. When I try something new, it almost always fails. I defer to parental, religious, and educational programming that tells me I'm not good enough or I'm small in some way. I don't know what to do with my inner conflicts. And in comes the people pleaser. Okay, so quick aside, the people pleaser started coming in really into sharp focus last week, and I was referring to it as the sacking of the people pleaser. I mentioned it in my last video. I was asking clients, without that thing, without that over responsibility, who are you? And the answer was nothing. I'm nothing if I don't have this to take care of. So it's the adapted parentified child. Yeah, it's living life vicariously through the parent and through the systems of control. And so never really kind of getting a handle on your own tow rope, on your own plumb line, on what grounds you into yourself. Keep hearing the word seat of the soul, falling into the seat of the soul as well. People pleaser. I won't hurt you, so I hurt myself instead. How many times have you heard people say, oh, I didn't want to rock the boat, didn't want to rock the boat? Well, your boat's rocking, sweetheart. You're in the middle of the North Sea and your boat's going crazy. But you're so focused on that, you can't see how perilous you're creating this situation for yourself. I won't hurt you, so I hurt myself instead. Uncertainty equals unworthiness. I'm lost. I am lost, therefore I'm nothing, because I don't have a plan in this patriarchal phallic structure. Have a plan. Deliver the plan. Exhausted. I don't know how to sit in the not knowing, and it's breaking me down. I don't like being broken down because that makes me feel exposed. It hurts me and I feel. Okay, so they're very quickly just some of the words that I captured this morning when I was tuning into this energy. So I want to bring you an image, and I want to bring the image in with a bit of a loving hold and a cuddle, because it might jar you and it might trigger you, and that's my gift to you. So when we start getting sight of something amazing that's coming up to the surface, and that amazing is looking and feeling very much like a kind of freedom we can't even map to. It's a kind of freedom we've never really known, because there's always been something to do and someone to take care of. It's a mental freedom. It's a mental freedom. So we're wriggling free from the structures that keep us locked into perceived cages. Are you ready for the card? Right, so I've moved to the Tarot Major Arcana because the Tarot Major Arcana helps me see the big archetypes, and that keeps me from drilling down into the minutiae, because when we go into the personal, I can't speak on behalf of you, but in the collective, I can see the theme. There's devil energy, there's deception, okay? There's where am I lying to myself? Every time I tell myself I'm small and I can't and I won't. But if you look closely at this devil, because when you glance at the devil card, it can be a bit, oh, I don't like it. I don't like him or her or whatever is being portrayed there. And it's this satanic, dark, whatever. Insert words, insert biblical, religious words here. Get rid of all that. Look closely. Look closely at that man and woman. Look closely at how loose those chains are. Look closely at how easy it would be to just pull the chains off. They think they are beholden to this devil energy. They think the devil energy controls them and keeps them small. And so they must serve it. Had to bring the light back in there. And they don't realize that they've created the chains around their neck with mental processing and programming and structures, whatever. Okay, so that's the snapshot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I wanted to see how this fitted into this section of the Major Arcana journey, because the whole of the Major Arcana, which is 21 cards, tells the story of how we move through life, okay? And this is why I don't do tarot online, because I am such a novice. It takes years to study tarot because it wraps in astrology and archetypal psychological themes. It's a brilliant tool. So if I start, I started at number 13, okay? Number 13 is a divinely feminine number. I see it as the feminine coming into the masculine to be built, okay? And the number 13 on its own, look how that's been demonized through the ages and obliterated. You know, I think airlines don't have seat number 13, and some big buildings don't have floor number 13, because we've programmed into our psyche that 13 is an unlucky number associated with, bad things in the past, yada yada. 13 is just a number, but energetically and numerologically, it's very different to how it's been programmed. So card number 13 is death, okay? So this is what got deaded, suppressed, horribly suppressed. And this is the process we most resist. Okay, why? Well, because we're big, brave soldiers. We're big, brave soldiers, and we carry on, and we carry on, and we carry on, and we bring fortitude. I have a real problem with the word fortitude. It's just, oh my God. I'll do that on another podcast. So we refuse to die to it. And refusing to die to it keeps us in this loop of confusion and lies and feeling that we're trapped in having to go on and care for that and care for that. And all the time we're becoming empty, spiritually empty, because there's nothing feeding our soul. We're so busy projecting our unworthiness into caring for others and needing for others. I'm sorry, I'm just calling it what it is. If it's not coming from heart space, and I see this time and again, people who give and give and give, but the underlying narrative is actually resentment. So that's not natural. That's not an organic give. That's not a loving give. That's a should give. That's you just should it on yourself. I'm being distracted. Bear with me. Bear with me. Why are those two? Okay. So this is one of those times where I look upwards and I say, Spirit, you're just showing off now. Okay. So this deck is facing me. It's one of my client decks. It's facing me, ready for, oh my God, I've got to go soon. Ready for next client. But at the bottom of that deck is 3 cards from a different deck. And guess what they are? They are perception. Do you know what? As I look at this image and really look at this image, that could be a man and it could be a woman. I get androgyny from that. Perception. Oh man. Okay. So you just watched me die to my resistance to the word fortitude. So fortitude's here, and it does kind of mean courage. If we rebirth the word fortitude, which in my old narrative could be, I'm just riding on. I know I'm slowly dying. I know I'm slowly dying in this war that I've forgotten the meaning of, but I'm just going to carry on. Now, if I take the courage from that and apply it to the real energy of what it's going to take me to rebirth into this new, then, okay, I just rebirth fortitude on my timeline. Because that will take me into brilliance. That will take us all into brilliance. Okay, thank you. Nice detour like that, you cheeky little buggers. So we have the death card, which precedes the tower. So the death card is number 13. Tower is 16. 14 is temperance. So temperance is the energy of Sagittarius. It's mutable. Okay. Yeah, 14 is the number of the change agent. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. So this is the agent of change. This is having the ability to reconcile these twos. Law of polarity, there are no two opposites that cannot be reconciled. Okay, it's just a bit of reprogramming. Fortitude, I've just reconciled my stuck with fortitude by taking something from it that I can rebirth, and that's courage. We're all going to need courage in spades. Okay, so temperance can help you see both sides, and there are many sides, but let's stick to 2. See both sides, so I can see the promise of the new, And I can feel into the stuckness of the old, or the shyness, or the fear, or the need to get it right, yada yada, all that small thinking that's being pulled out of the system. It's going to cause this wobble. It is going to. I'm seeing the wobble in the middle. It might come out, and it's coming out as frustration and anger. Good, great energies, dynamic energies. So, death, using temperance to review where you've put yourself in devil energy, calling your own BS. And around about here, I want to bring in the Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords brings, I call it the sword of truth, and it's coming in as eclipse energy, actually. It's an eclipse on Sunday, big one. So you just cut away the BS, you spot the BS, and you bring down the Tower of Cards that you have built. This is the Tower. Okay, this is the Tower. So you bring down your own tower. This is self-made. Self-made. We did this, because we deferred to it. And then comes, look at this changeover from the Tower to the sun. To the star. This is just such a beautiful card of hope. And this is kind of the energy of washing the waters clean. Yeah, washing the waters clean. So just letting it move through and allowing and allowing. And I'm going to bring these two out together. So the star is 17, so 18 and 19 are the moon and the sun. And on Sunday, they're kind of going to do that. That's my scientific explanation of an annular eclipse. Okay, moon, hidden self, emotional self, part of us that's under the waters of emotion. Okay, and the moon in an eclipse is going to, well, it exposes it anyway. So great time to go deep, deep dive. That's the happiest card in the deck. Horse is the symbol of freedom. Child is the symbol of innocence and purity. Sun, I believe, is a contraction of the word soul. So how about that for the new Holy Trinity, for the Blessed Trinity? Don't like the word holy, that's my shit. Blessed Trinity, child, freedom, soul, purity, innocence. Booyah. Doing all of that work, meeting the shadow and processing it, washing it clean with the star in the deep waters of the moon to step into the sun turns the world. Okay, turns the world. And then the journey begins again with this. See how he's just balancing on the edge there. He has nothing but his little tote bag, head held high, totally free, no plan. He's just going to step off and trust that the ground will rise to meet him, because that's what we're all capable of in our brilliance. I think I did it. I've got to go. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helps you in some way move through the angst that's hitting the system this week. It's fantastic. It's kinetic energy. It's just energy. So trust yourself, do the dance, move with it, sending you loads of love. And I'm in it too. I'm in it too. So yeah, we've got to trust ourselves and become the little child on the back of the horse. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.